Hi everyone. Today's last is the last video for what sold in October. I know I'm a little behind. We're already like halfway through November right now, but hopefully I'll be able to catch up soon. So this is the last week or week and a half of October from October 22nd to October 31st of this year, 2025. I'm going to start on Poshmark. One item we sold on Poshmark was this faux wrap paisley printed top in a size medium from Talbot's, and we sold it for $11. Next was these really cute torrid wide leg jeans in a size 14 tall. These I picked up from Facebook. It's a Facebook Marketplace, and I paid on average about $8 a piece for these items, which is higher than I want to spend usually, but I did keep some of the items for myself, and these were new without tags, and they sold for $35. This was a really old item. I had bought two of these when I was doing some retail arbitrage on Torrid's website. So I paid about $4 an item when I got those, and I sold this for $16, but I definitely probably wouldn't do that again because this has sat for like 2 years on Poshmark, well, on all of our pages. This is another, I think, older pair. I'm trying to think. I can't remember because I did some J. Crew jeans recently. I think this was an older pair, and they sold for $18. This really cute vintage Gymboree outfit sold for 34. That is a bolo if you guys aren't aware. To look for these like retro 90s, early 2000s outfits that kind of look like this in the primary colors, a lot of color blocking. Actually part of just a Gymboree group on Facebook, and you would not believe the prices that some of these things go for. This is relatively, I'd say, low to average, the $34. My mom got this and a few other items that were similar Gymboree pieces from a thrift store a few years ago, and I had them on my first baby. I don't think I put them on my second. And I'd rather have the money than put it on my third baby. And to be honest with you, when I know something's got that high of a value, I almost have like anxiety about putting it on one of my kids because I'm afraid they're gonna mess it up or something before I get to resell it. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but then we have these J. Crew shorts. These are years old. I also had just relisted these, the delist and relist like I showed in my last video, and I had them for like $10, and then I did a 10% off offer, or maybe they offered me 8. I can't remember. But they sold for $8. Definitely not worth having for the couple years that we had them listed. Cut from the cloth jeans. This was another delist and relist. These sold for 20. And then this Talbot's Frenchy sweater. I think this was actually a delist and relist as well. And it sold for 24. I paid I think 5.55 for this after tax at our Goodwill. My mom and I had gone and bought a bunch of Talbot's things that were all like in one section of the sweaters. And I knew when I looked it up, I did like a Google image search, and I saw that this was selling for a pretty decent amount on Poshmark and eBay. So I wanted to take that chance. And I'm glad I took the risk because $24 is pretty good, and it sold within, I think, maybe about 6 to 9 months. So our total profit for Poshmark in that week and a half-ish, I think it was like 9 days, was $96.83. Let's see. Next, we're going to go to Mercari. I know it's rare that we have a sale on Mercari. We did have a sale the first week, so this was a Buc-ee's shirt. Buc-ee's is like I think a gas station, convenience store type of deal, and in some states. And I got this from a friend. She just gave me a bunch of kids' clothes that she was gonna like actually throw out, not even donate, but throw out. And I thought this might be something worth trying to sell. And so I listed it for like $10. Someone sent an $8 offer and I accepted because it's Mercari. And as you see, their seller fees are super low. And I didn't mind selling it for cheap since I got it for free. So our total profit was $6.73 on this. And then we'll go to Mercari, or excuse me, eBay. We sold a pair of Lane Bryant pedal jeans, which I hadn't heard of pedal jeans before. I think I've heard of like pedal pushers, but they're kind of like a mix between a crop capri type of pant. And they were plus size 28 and they sold for $15. Next was this Talbot's split neck tee in a size extra large. We've sold three Talbot split neck tops within the past couple weeks. This sold for $21.25. A two-piece pajama set by Carol. Y'all know we get these for $2.14 after tax at that warehouse. Sold for $25. I used to be able to get a lot more for the Carol and Vermont Country Store things, but at this point I'm just kind of letting them go for like 20 to 30 something dollars because we've had so many of them and I just want to kind of get them out. This was an awesome sale. This was some vintage Lily Pulitzer pajamas that I'd had for quite a while in my dead pile. Um, and that's in like the room where I have all the inventory. We had taken all of the items and put them into our garage in containers. Well, about 50% of our items. And I pulled these out. This was, I think, I might have had these for like spring or summer or something. And I finally got to listing these and they sold very, very quickly. There was a lot of interest. I just picked these up from like the Goodwill in the bins section, I think. So paid less than $5 for the set. And they sold for $43. Here's another split neck Talbot's top sold to somebody different. It's a 2X and it sold for $15.30. And lastly was these White Mountain brown suede boots in a 9 wide. They were new without tags. My mom bought them for me like probably a decade ago and I never wore them. And I'd had them up there for a long time and I delisted and relisted them in the same way like I showed in my last video. And they sold pretty quickly for $40. Our total profit on eBay for that last few days of October was $116.41, which means our total profit between Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari but from October 22nd to October 31st was $219.97, bringing our total profit for all of October of 2025 to $696.30. Now, definitely not $1,000. Kind of crazy that we got to $1,000 the previous months and then we're so far away from it this month. But the shutdown, I think, had a lot to do with things. Poshmark's new like algorithm and everything has something to do with it. There's a lot going on right now, so I'm not too upset about it. And I'm hoping that doing all this delisting and relisting will kind of help keep us where we need to be. And this may just be a different kind of quarter four than we're used to, but I'm hoping that we'll still make it through all right and have some decent sales. Fingers crossed. I hope y'all sales are going good, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.